There have been lots of stories about the former royal known as the Duchess of Sussex, otherwise known as former cable TV star Meghan Markle in the recent weeks. That's all following the publication of that revealing book by the celebrated author Tom Bower. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, well, what do you think to the revelations? And of course, some of them are fascinating in itself. Most of us in the media did know a lot of these stories. And as I've said before, it's more interesting about the stories that he wasn't allowed to publish because he couldn't cement them down, perhaps in time for the paperback, who knows? But this particular story has escaped Mr. Bower, so let me explain. Way back during the royal wedding, the big royal wedding that we all enjoyed, not the spectacle that they claimed it was in the Oprah Winfrey interview, which I thought was very damning, very demeaning and absolutely incredibly rude to the millions of people around the world that did enjoy that spectacle. If you recall, there was problems for Meghan, as we now have found out through subsequent interviews and gossip columns and stuff like that. The infamous most being, of course, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. Remember that tagline. But here's where it got interesting for me, because a lot of people have speculated about Meghan having no family there with her at the wedding, other than her mother, Doria, who, is strange in itself. Apparently, according to a very close source of Prince Charles, he did offer and ask if she would like a friend to sit with her. But apparently the message back from Meghan was no. Interesting, isn't it? Literally no one, not even a friend, was allowed to sit with her mother. Very strange indeed. But do you remember, of course, when Meghan decided to leave for her wedding on that wonderful, glorious summer's day? I mean, it was beautiful weather, no two ways about it. And she departed in a phantom Rolls Royce. You remember the one? Looked sensational on screen. This, of course, was used previously by none other than some might say, disgraced American, Wallis Simpson, all the way back in the early 70s for the funeral of her husband. Now, apparently, this particular information was fed back to Meghan, and as ever, we have to say, allegedly, would she mind being in this same car? Who wouldn't? It was spectacular. And let's not forget, of course, that the British monarchy have liked this type of car, the Phantom Rolls-Royce, ever since the 1950s, a particular favourite with the late Duke of Edinburgh. Now, according to another good source, the reason why Meghan truly was not offended by this, it was nothing to do with the car or indeed the colour or whatever it was associated with previously. She knew that the media would pick up on this, the scorned woman from America, the woman who was treated badly. And according to that good source, and as ever we have to say allegedly, she thought that this might make an interesting sideline, a tidbit. After all, how many Americans had truly got within the British monarchy? So even on the wedding day or pre-wedding day, one can actually see that Meghan truly was using every possible opening to make sure that she became the #1 talked about sensation of that year. A lot of people, of course, couldn't get over the fact that on that day and in that car, Meghan decided to ditch her mother halfway because she wanted to arrive alone as a strong, independent woman, cascading up the steps of St. George's Chapel with all eyes on her.